Hi everyone. What do we do on a mid-November's Saturday? We get some work done. I've got some herbs infusing in olive oil here on a double boiler. Carter's playing basketball on the school team and she hurt the back of her leg, and so I went to get our tension tamer salve and we were all out, and the people we normally buy it from didn't have any more, so I'm making my own little healing salve here with some different herbs in it. I'll put a link below to the recipe that I'm following. This has to infuse for a couple hours, so now I'm going to go outside and get some things done out there.
So the temperature is definitely dropping out here, and I had to go get on some nice big toasty gloves. My fingers were getting numb. I was double hatting it.
That wind in your ears is cold. Let's get ready to fill it up a second time. Round two.
Round two, let's do it. Let me show you what I'm using. I'm using some old roofing nails that were used and then pulled, and I'm just taking the little plastic piece off and I'm slipping in a little wood screw, and that's going to hold that Tyvek wrap in place a lot better than those staples. I don't have to worry about the wind trimming it out. Alright, oh, I see a nice stack of wood going on here.
Yeah, come take a look.
Oh yes.
I kind of tried to sort it. We've got longer pieces there. We've got whole pieces here. Because I know you do your little fire magic and you got some kind of formula where you make it burn long. Yeah, the other day I called and I'm like, can we have a fire when I get home? He said, sure, if you start it. I was all sad because I'm not very good at starting fires. But I came home and he had one going for me because he was just teasing, which is his favorite activity, I think. Maybe second. So anyway, I think this is all I've got the energy to do today, simply because it's cold and gray.
Yeah, the temperature's still dropping, definitely.
I was gonna go do some other stuff, but I think we'll just call it good.
I'm down with that.
So I got a few more pieces I gotta throw on the pile, and then we'll call it a day.
Alright.
Now that the herbs are done infusing, it's time to strain them out. Look at that nice rich green color. Perfect. That's how you know that all the herbs were fully infused into the oil. Now I'm going to put this back in the double boiler and I'm going to add in this 1/4 cup of beeswax that came from my own beehives. So I'm very excited. First product I'm making from beeswax from our own hives. And let's see if I can get that out with one hand. There we go. And I'm going to stir it until the beeswax is all melted. Okay, now all that I have to do is pour it in these jars, and you can see that there's a little bit of floaty herbs left in there because I strained the original oil infusion through a strainer instead of using a cheesecloth. It's what I had on hand, and I don't mind. These are just going to be personal use. I'm not going to sell them or anything like that. So let's see if I can do this on video and watching at the same time. I'm going to need another jar. I'll go get that in a second. So this is a really good, inexpensive salve to make because I probably spent a total of $6 or $7 on the amount of olive oil and herbs that I purchased from our local health food store. And I know that you can sell each of these for about $15 a pop. So, well worth doing it yourself, and maybe I'll sell some at some point as well. We're on our way home from town today. It is Black Friday, and I said I wasn't going Black Friday shopping, but I did run into town to our hardware store, and it wasn't a big Black Friday crazy place. In fact, I think we were the only customers in there and about 4 workers. And we picked up, Chris, you want to pick it up and show them what we got?
Sure.
We got this little flamethrower thingamabobber here that we can hook up to a propane tank. We've been talking about getting one for when we have our garden to do flame leading, like Curtis Stone has shown how in his videos and he talks about. So if you want to know more about that, I'll put a link to his channel in the description. But we are getting from my mom a free dog kennel, which I think is about what, 6 by 8 maybe?
I think it's a little bigger. I think it's like 8 by 12.
Nice.
It's pretty good size.
Yeah, it is a pretty good size. And we, however, are not going to use it for a dog kennel. We're going to make it into a greenhouse. So that's always good. Free is always good, right? And we'll have to buy the plastic and then something to make a top with and shelves and stuff like that. So there probably will be some expense in it to begin with. But today is a really nice day, the day after Thanksgiving in southern Missouri, and it is, what, about 70 degrees outside? It's super nice.
72.
72, so that's crazy warm for a winter's day. So we're going to take advantage of the nice weather, and we were looking at the dog kennel yesterday at my mom's, and the grass has grown up over the bottom bar of it. So basically we both, like, Chris was pulling on one side and I was pushing on the other. We couldn't tip it, we couldn't move it. So we talked about how best to remove the grass that's got it stuck down there, and Chris had the idea to burn it. And since we were wanting one of these things for working in our garden next year, we can't really afford the big 30-inch flame leader yet. So this will do dual purpose. They had another little one that just worked with like a Coleman camp stove, but the cost difference between that one and this one, which works with the regular size propane tank, was only $5. The downside is we'll have to cart the regular size propane tank around, but we think we've got a workaround for that. So now we're going to take you along while we get that dog kennel out of the ground and moved, hopefully before the sun goes down today.
We ran into a little problem. We're out of propane in both of those tanks.
Oh, really? Are you kidding
I think
me?
the last time we used them was way back when our water pipes froze.
Yeah.
And we had to thaw them out, and then we put in that drainage system and all that. We'll link to that video up there. I think we have a video about that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so what are our options for today?
Either we dig it out with a shovel, or I can go get those tanks filled.
Okay, well that's another 40 minutes. How much more daylight do we have?
About an hour.
Should I go ahead and get started with the shovel?
Let's get started with the shovel.
Okay.
we'll see how difficult going it is with the shovel and make a call from there.
Okay, that's a good plan. He decided to move on a different place than where I set the camera up. What if I go inside and I just pull it up? So Chris, you know what I think? What tool I think we really needed for this job?
What?
A Maddox.
We got one somewhere.
You know why I'm saying that? So the other day, Chris was watching a video of Wrangler Star talking about his, I think, 50 favorite tools, something like that,
Yeah,
right?
50 tools every man needs to have like a basic level of tools or something along those lines.
Yeah, and it was just going in the background, and then I hear Wrangler Star talking about a Maddox, and I like sat up straight, and I said, did he just say Maddox? And Chris goes, yeah, why? Well, last year when my dad and I were doing some kind of work in the garden, my dad kept going, we really need a Maddox for this job. Where's our Maddox? I had no idea what a Maddox was. My dad had dementia. I thought he was like not remembering the regular name of a tool, and so he was just calling it a Maddox. I had no idea it was a real thing until like 2 days ago. I kept going, I don't know where it is, Dad. Can you tell me what it looks like? Maybe I can help you find it. No, my dad knew tools. He didn't forget. I was just ignorant of that. So it was kind of funny when I heard Wrangler start talking about it. I was like, what? A Maddox? It's a real thing? So. All right, now you've got it loosened all the way around. How are we going to get it from here down to there to the big red barn where we want to set it up?
Well, that's a little bit of a problem. It's at least 8 by 12. Can I just show one second?
How far along are those sections?
This is 6 foot here, so
So 8 by 12?
8 by 12 and 6 foot tall.
So my mom was thinking, oh, let's just lay it down on its side on the back of the pickup.
Yeah, no.
You need me to kiss it and make it feel better?
Workplace injury.
Oh, file for workman's comp. Oh, I'm not kissing that. That's got blood.